here we go. Okay, so multi-step equations. So with multi-step equations, first of all, have we learned how to solve one-step equations? Two-step. Two-step with distribution. Equations with variables on both sides. Yes. So what we're doing today, we're going to have, sometimes we're going to have distribution, sometimes we're going to have variables on both sides, sometimes we're going to have to simplify. Okay? But everything that we already know how to do, we're just going to kind of tie it all together. Okay? So let's look at an example. All right. This is very similar to what we did yesterday. Okay, it just has one additional step. Okay, we're going to combine what we can. So what's the first thing I need to do here when you look at this equation? The first thing I need to do is what? By the way, do you see why we have to show all these steps? Yes. Now, you can't do this in your head. Okay? It's just too much work. Okay? So I need to get rid of what here, guys? Parentheses. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to distribute, right? Okay. Am I doing anything with this side? No. So I'm just going to do what? Bring that down. Okay. Now, I need to get rid of these parentheses, so I'm going to separate these terms, right? What is 5 times 8v? 40v. What is 5 times negative 7? Negative 35. And then did I do anything with this minus 2? No, so let's bring that down. Okay. Now, before I can go to the next step, I want to combine anything that I can. So I'm going to separate all these terms. Can I combine these two? I can't combine those. Why? Because they're not what? Like terms, okay? Can I combine 40v with anything? Can I combine negative 35 and negative 2? And what would that give me? Negative 37, okay? So I have negative 5 plus 8v equals 40v minus 37. Okay, so now I'm getting closer to being a one-step equation, but I've got to first get my variables on the same side, right? So if I look at these variables, which one of these has a smaller coefficient, 8 or 40? 8, so that's the one I'm going to move. Now you can do it either way. Okay, I can move the 40v and I'll still get the same answer. The chances are greater when you move a smaller coefficient that you're not going to have to deal with a negative. That's why we do that. Okay? So I'm going to take away 8v from here and take away 8v from here. Okay, so I have negative 5. What happened to these? They what? They zeroed out. What is 40v minus 8v? 32v minus 37. Okay? Now I'm down to a two-step equation, right? So I can put this in my box. What's outside that box? Minus 37. How do I get rid of minus 37? I'm going to add 37 here, and I'm going to add 37 over here. Okay, so this cancels. I'm left with 32v. If you owe 5 and you have 37, how much do you have left? 32. Now it gets real easy. I just divide each side by 32. And what does v equal? 1. Okay? Yes?
I was trying to find my note thing and I couldn't find it.
Okay. Do you need another notebook? I have some extras if you want to take one. Okay, right behind Macy, there's some up on that shelf. Just keep one. Okay. Do you guys understand what we did there?
Yeah.
It's not that difficult, is it? A lot of steps. I actually love these things. I think they're a lot of fun. Okay. Can I erase this? Does everybody have this? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, let's try another one. You guys try this one on your own. Let's see if you can get this one right before we move to the next part. Okay, raise your hand when you get an answer, please. Is anybody stuck, or are you guys working through this? Okay, I'm going to work through this at the same time you are. I'm going to get rid of these parentheses first. Okay, how many of you got to this spot where you got rid of the parentheses? Okay. What do I need to do before I start moving variables?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. Thank you. Can I combine anything here?
12K and 8K.
Okay, I can't combine 12 with anything, so that's going to come down. But I can combine 12K and a negative 8K. What would I have? Plus 4K equals negative 21 minus 7K, right? Does everybody understand what we did there? Yes? Okay. What's next? I need to get my variables where? On the same side, okay. So let's separate these. Which one is easier to move? The positive 4 or the negative 7?
Negative 7.
Okay, so I'm going to add 7K here and what?
Add 7K.
Add 7K there. Did I zero these out? That's what I want, right? So I have negative 21. What's 4K plus 7K? 11K. And then I have a 12 right here, okay? What do I now have? A two-step equation? What's outside my box? A 12, right? So I need a minus 12 here, minus 12 here. Okay, so I have 11K. What if you owe 21 and you borrow 12 more, how much do you owe? 33. Divide each side by 11. What is negative 33 divided by positive 11? Negative 3. Okay? Do we see how we got that? Yes? Who said no? Okay, which part did you miss?
I guess the third line.
This here? Are you talking about when we move the variables?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a positive 4K over here and a negative 7K over here. When we have variables on both sides, we have to get them on the same side, right? Okay. The way we do that, and again, you can do it either way. If to me, the easier way is to move the one that has the lower coefficient. And negative 7 is much lower than positive 4, right? So I want to neutralize this. So the way that I neutralize that or zero it out is to add 7K. So this is now nothing, but I have to do the same thing to the other side. And that's how I got 11K. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Tardina?
To get positive 4K, you did 12K and
I combined 12K and a negative 8K. So it's the same thing as positive 12 minus 8, which gave me a positive 4K.
okay. Awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
I got it all. I just got positive 3. So how did you why did you do negative 12 instead of negative or positive 12?
Well, okay, if you right here, if you were to add 21 to each side, you would have 33 plus 11K, but you're going to equal 0. So you're still going to have to move that to the other side anyway, because your variable's on the same side as that number. Does that make sense? So you want to work the side that has the variable on it. That's the side you want to try to get rid of everything on. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Are we good on that one? Okay. One more type I want you to see. And actually, there's two more types. What am I going to have to do on this one? This looks very intimidating, looks crazy, doesn't it? But I'm telling you right now, this is not that bad. Once I get rid of what? What do I have to get rid of, guys? I got to get rid of my parentheses. Can we do that real quick? Let's do that real quick. Okay, separate these terms. Separate. Am I doing anything with 7n minus n?
No.
No. So I'm going to bring this down. Okay, what is 6 times negative 6? Negative 36. What is 6 times negative 7n?
Negative.
Negative what? 42n. Good. What is 6, positive 6 times positive 6n? Plus 36n. And what is 6 times negative 6? Negative 36. Okay, so we're starting to go in the right direction. We got rid of our parentheses, right? Okay, now I want to see if I can combine anything, okay? Let's just go from left to right. Can I combine 7n minus n? What does that give me? 7n and a negative n. It's just basically like saying, 6n, okay? So now I have 6n. Can I combine, let's see here. Can I combine negative 36 with this? With this? What about this? Now, here's a mistake that people make right here. They say, well, I got a negative 36 and I got a negative 36, and that's not zero. I have a negative 36 and I'm adding an additional negative 36. That's going to be a bigger negative, right? So what is negative 36 plus negative 36? Negative 72. Okay. Now I have a negative 42 and a positive 36n. Can I combine those?
Yes.
Because they're what? They're like terms, right? Well, what's 42? If you owe me 42 and you have 36, do you still owe money? How much do you owe? Negative what? Negative 6n. Okay, good. Now, we've worked this down to a what? Two-step equation, okay? Like I said, this looks crazy, doesn't it? But it's really not that bad. This is going to be in my box, okay? I have what outside of my box? Negative 72. So I'm going to add 72 here, and I'm going to what? Add 72 here. Now, did that make sense for me to do that?
No,
Why? What's going to happen here?
because,
Okay, let's take a step back. Hold on. Okay. Guys, remember, remember yesterday, and you guys were a little bit confused, when I have a side that has a variable by itself, okay, is this a single term over here? It is. If I move this 72, I'm still going to get an answer, but it's like taking extra steps. Okay? So instead of doing that, can I get rid of this negative 6n and combine it over here?
yes,
Yeah. How do I do that? Add what? I want this to be nothing. I want this to be 0.
add 6.
Add 6n, but I also have to do what?
N.
Add 6n over here. Okay, now what happens to these? These are what? They're zeroed out, right? So what's left here? Negative 72. What's 6n plus 6n?
12.
12n. Now how do I solve this? Divide each side by what?
12.
By 12. I'm dividing a negative by a positive, so no matter what, my answers are going to be negative. And what is 72 divided by 12? 6. Negative 6. Okay? You see how we did that? Looks crazy, but truthfully, are these really that difficult? They're not. Okay? All right. The only other type you're going to see, and I'm not going to take any more of your class time. If you see one like this, what do you think you're going to have to do? Distribute on both sides. Do you think is that anything more than you already know what to do? Then we're good. Okay? Do you want me to do this one? I can. It'll take me. Okay. I'm going to give you some time to do